Midland Sports.
Chaparral moves to 8-0 on the 2019 season with a 3-0 sweep over defending Citrus Belt League tri-champion Redlands East Valley, joined by head coach Gail Johnson, as the Pumas now look ahead to the Hemet tournament where they are two-time defending champions. Coach, before we look ahead to this weekend, let's look kind of at the first couple of weeks of this season. Queens Court champions, Citrus Valley Classic champions, and you've just taken down the Citrus Belt League defending tri-champions. This was a program that by anybody's standards struggled a season ago, missing the playoffs in the first year of the split Division I and II era. Do you feel like your program needed a year like that to kind of give them a kick forward?
I feel like no matter what would have happened last year, we were going to come back ready to work. Regardless of our successes or failures. I think one of the reasons we're doing I think better than people expected. I don't even know if I want to use that term. We have just another year of experience under our belts. We had a really young team last year, except for a few key players that graduated. So the majority of the kids that were on the court came back this year with a year of experience, another year of club, most of them. And so that year, they just really developed and got a lot better, and it just made a huge difference. And with them, plus the addition of Bella Rittenberg, who's a freshman, they've just come to play, and they work hard every day, and we're really working on our staff. We're really working on teaching them. We're working on increasing their volleyball IQ, teaching them the game better, and just, well, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give away our game plans and everything that we're working on. But we're just trying to take everyone to the next level and just to raise our game, make it more advanced.
I want to talk about Bella for a minute because we were talking earlier and you said she has a very heavy ball. Yes. One very impressive freshman, especially out of the back row.
Yes.
It seemed like she got all of her kills tonight out of the back three rotations, or maybe I'm just misperceiving things, but it seemed like most of the kills I remember marking in my notebook were out of the back row. What makes her so effective out of those back three rotations?
She can just bring the heat from anywhere. She's just ready to go. She plays great defense, and Sage, our setter, and Bella played together in club, so they just brought that instant connection to our high school team. So they, in broken plays or when plays would break down, Sage could just kick it up to Bella, just always. And so their chemistry, I can't take credit for that. They had that coming in here. But so we're putting it to use, and Bella's just a gamer. She's just ready to go all the time, front row, back row, and even her defense she just has really good reaction time. She reads the game very, very well, and she makes plays.
Do you feel like now you guys have maybe changed perception? Because like going into the year, I kind of felt like you guys were going to be a 4th or 5th place team in the Southwestern League, but do you guys feel like now you're in a position to be able to compete for the Southwestern League title when the bell rings?
Well, I feel like every team in our conference has a shot. I don't want to necessarily comment on us. I just feel like everyone has to be ready to play that night, or you don't have a chance. As far as where we'll finish, I just don't know. Everyone is so talented. Like, for example, Vista has so many Division I scholarship kids. It's really, we don't have any kids committed at this point. And like, compared to, I would have to sit down and count, but I think just 5 off the top of my head going Division I in their program. There's just so much talent. Bye guys. So it's just, I'm trying, my philosophy is we have to do things to win that other teams aren't doing. So I'm trying to raise our level to make us more competitive.
Today was a tale of 3 sets. First set, it was your service game that seemingly won the day. And then in the second and third, it seemed like all the weapons were on full display. I want to talk about the service pressure in the first. I counted 5 aces and a 3-ball error. And then that roll that, who was it? Somebody had 4 aces in a row. I'd have to go back and look at one stretch. Just talk about your service pressure and just the ability that you guys showed to get Rev totally uncomfortable in that first set.
Well, we know that we want to keep the ball out of their best hitters' hands, and the way to do that is through serving. We know that their one middle is really, really good, and we respect their hitters very much. So if we could serve tough, we can make it so their best players, instead of having 6 kills per game, maybe have 1 or 2, or they just can't be set as much. So really, we've been working on serving and just trying to put pressure on them so we get easier balls back, and then we just try to convert those balls into points.
That second set, they held the lead for most of it. It took a 6-3 finish from you guys to keep the lead at 2-0. What did you learn from your team in that set that you guys are going to have to work on as you look towards Hemet and then, moving points forward?
Well, I have to compliment our UV. They settled down on serve receive, and they started passing, and they started serving well. And so that really evened out the game and made it more difficult for us. So, and so I even told my team before the start of the second match, I'm like, look, they're going to settle down, they're going to start passing, and so we need to be ready to play defense, and we just need to up our game a little bit here. And so we were expecting them to come out fighting. So we just needed to line up the block better, and we just needed to compete harder. They wanted it, and they played hard, and we just weren't answering. They had energy, and it just took us a while to just start fighting. That team is really strong, and I really respected them, and it just took us a while to start competing harder. So that's something that we need to work on, is just competing harder from the beginning. I felt like they just competed better than us in that second set. But I'm proud of our girls for eventually responding. So I know after that match more of what we need to work on.
Couple more questions.
Yeah.
So it's your second year in the program. You had your twin daughters in the program last year. You have Anna this year. What's it been like to run this program, having your own daughters in the program?
Well, last year was it's to have 3 girls on one varsity team. Luckily, I didn't make the team. Dana made the team before she left. So when I took over the program, I did remind my athletic director. I said, I have 3 girls on the varsity team, and he was like, no problem. His dad was his coach, and he said, my dad was harder on me than anyone, so I'm not worried about it. And so I have been around volleyball my entire life. I played for years at every level, and I've coached, and I am, if it's close in talent, I almost go with the other kid, because I know that I can handle my kid not playing.
Yeah.
So it's fun to be with them at school, but almost when I'm coaching them, it's not, I have so much respect for all the kids that I don't really see them as my kids. In fact, because I have so much, I just enjoy all the kids so much, and I'm so focused on making all of them better, and I care about all of them, that I could never give one of my kids an advantage over the other one, because I respect them all and I want them all to do well.
And then lastly, so last year I was talking with your players. The Valley had 4 teams make a title game of some sort, CIF State or CIF Southern Section. You've lived in this Valley probably a lot longer than I have. I can't remember a year like that. I don't know if you can or not, but what was it like to sit back and, you're a club coach.
Oh, yeah.
What was it like to see these other programs in the Valley have those kinds of successes, especially like a Linfield Christian who hadn't made it in nearly a decade, win a title, and to just see these other programs have those kinds of successes, and then know this Chaparral program missed it, and missed by a wide margin, had to sit the dance out?
Well, it's always disappointing for us not to make it because we were one game away. If any of our other losses were a win, we would have made it. We just needed one more win in our column. However, that being said, it makes me so happy to see our local kids do well on every level. In fact, I've coached some of the kids from Linfield, and to see them tear it up, I was so happy rooting for them, and I was just thrilled. And TV, to have a team from our league win state, I just think it brings so much positive exposure to our league, and it just shows the whole state how tough and how strong we are. I think California, I think they really respect our league, but sometimes I think it's easy for other people to overlook us because we're not from the beach area. And so I like the positive attention that it's brought to our valley, and I always like to see local kids do well. And especially my kids have played club with a lot of these kids who have gone out and done well. So I know them personally, I know their families, and so I'm always rooting for them. Would I have liked our team to have been there? Of course, but it's a bummer. That part's a bummer. But on the other hand, I'm always rooting for the local kids in our valley, always.
All right, thank you, Gail.
Thank you.
Atlanta Sports.